Hey everyone, it's Dustin with TechMD coming at you with another phone, Samsung A51 5G. Not the A51, but A51 5G. And how can you tell the difference? Is you actually have a metal frame instead of a plastic frame. It's a huge difference. Highly recommend using Samsung original parts. Links in the description if you want to actually purchase these amazing parts. You're gonna have always the best service by purchasing this. Okay, anyways, I am going to show you guys real quick my heat pad. As you can see, I use the BST 928 at 120 degrees Celsius. And I just put the back of the phone until it gets hot to the touch and use a glove so I can hold it while I separate it here. So I like to use iseasmo tool, iFlex, or iPlastix, and then iFlex, and we got some tweezers, and it's most likely going to be a Phillips 00 screwdriver. Any of these tools that you guys want to purchase is all in the link in the description. All right, so let's go ahead and start removing the back. Usually just like to start at the bottom right, not a problem. Now, so we don't cut cables, I like to use that iPlastix tool, just in case. And we're just running around the side here, since it is nice and warm. It took about 3 minutes to warm up, so it's not too difficult to warm this one up. You can use a heat gun, but you could melt the plastic, so be careful. And you could use a hairdryer, but it'd take forever to warm up. All right, so we got the back panel off. Since it's plastic, I'm not going to leave it on the heater for too long, so I will do that later. Let's go ahead and transfer all the components from here to there. Looks like you don't have to transfer the ear speaker. Interesting thing that I've noted about the A series with front fingerprint sensor cameras is that a lot of times they're already problematic as it is, using them. And when you transfer them, I would say that sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. I think it's software update, but I don't know. Doesn't really make any sense. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and just remove all these screws and we'll find out if that fingerprint sensor works after we're done doing all this. All right, guys, so now that you got all the screws removed, we're gonna go ahead and just get your tool, your iFlex tool, in between here and separate that. And then we're gonna go ahead and lift this one up. So you wanna be careful, obviously, not to hit the board. So I'm just barely getting in there and twisting, trying to get this lifted up. Oh, okay, see, look, I missed a screw. You don't wanna miss anything like this, or it's not gonna be coming up. All right, we're going to disconnect the battery first. You can also use a plastic tool if you don't have fingernails. Go ahead and remove the motherboard screw, which does not want to come out. There we go. And disconnect our main connector for the LCD. And this is the antenna connector. And we're going to go ahead and disconnect the fingerprint reader. And actually this might be LCD, I'm not sure. Oh, this goes to the charge port. Okay, I see. See, learning as we go. Okay, we got another screw that's nice and hidden. Let's remove that. Now we can lift up, maybe. And it might not want to lift up because they like to glue things down. So we are going to warm up the phone because this has no pull tab, so we're going to certainly want to lift that up properly as well. You know, where is the S? There it is. That's why it's not coming out. Don't forget the SEM tray, guys. Use your SEM tray tool to remove this. I just use a pentalobe driver to pop it out. Now we should be able to pull the board out. Okay, board's out. So it looks like we're gonna need to not transfer this. We don't have to transfer that. I don't see any special 5G antennas at the moment. But we got the ear speaker already in. We don't have to do that. We have to move the camera over. Everything seems exactly identical, so it looks like we're good to go ahead and switch things over. Okay, so next part is we're gonna put it on the hot pad here for about 3 to 5 minutes. You want that battery really hot so we can actually separate it without damaging it. And the best way to do that is get it warm. The other options are to pry a little bit and then put some alcohol under there. I never do that. I find the heat just fine. Obviously you don't want to expose the battery more than 5 minutes. It's like putting it in a really hot car, and that battery will bloat and damage it if you have it too hot for too long. But with the way I do it, I've never had any complaints. So we're gonna just let that warm up, and then we're gonna separate those two pieces. So I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Okay, now that our battery is hot to touch, we're gonna go ahead and move that over. And yeah, it literally is. Just slowly move your tool here. It does bend a little bit because these are permanently glued down. You're gonna take your iPlastix tool, and that's gonna actually help you get underneath that battery without bending it too much. I wear my gloves because I'm burning myself because this blasted battery doesn't want to come out. Yeesh, this is some really strong glue. Wow. Now if you puncture the battery, a couple things can happen. It can light on fire or it can just diminish it really badly. So I just bent whatever I did bend a little bit back since it's nice and hot and malleable. And now we're gonna go ahead and pop out this if it wants to come out. We're gonna try. Am I missing a screw somewhere? Come on, there we go. It's just in there nice and tight. Let's get the front camera here, or the fingerprint sensor reader. There we go. That's nice and loose now. I'm going to transfer it straight over after removing this plastic. Don't breathe. It's very sensitive, so you want to do that immediately. You don't want to get no dust on that camera because it's just stupid. Poorly designed fingerprint readers. All right, just clipping in everything. And let's go ahead and put the battery on. You don't have to worry about super gluing this battery down. The phone is already screwed down quite tightly. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and remove the front camera plastic there. Stick that in. Let's go ahead and put the board in. Put that down. Plug this in. Go ahead and plug this connector and this connector. Now you see that board is pretty loose. Let's go ahead and screw in that screw that where it belongs, which is right here. I do believe the best way to tell is always just check this. That screw was right there. What am I missing? Nothing? Okay, let's go ahead and plug the battery in. At this point, you could test it, but it will start overheating without it being pressed down against the board for cooling. So I usually just put the screws in and then test. I'm just clipping this back in. Now is the time to put your back glass on, or excuse me, back plastic. It's not made out of glass. I got a lot of it screwed down already. We're going to go ahead and just kick it on and make sure it turns on here. And I think you have to have that screw in to turn it on because the connector goes underneath the motherboard and the motherboard clicks on it, but it's not turning on, so it might be dead. Let's find out here. Always love it when customers forget to charge their phones. Alright. If you use aftermarket parts, you may certainly have service issues, so I don't recommend aftermarket parts on these cheap phones, but you can if you want. I don't know if they're even available. I've been using OEM lately on the A series because I've used the aftermarket ones and they're just so crappy for quality. It's just not worth doing it. So just look in the description, look for premium or service pack, and then you'll know that you're getting a good quality there. All right, we do have 5G service, which is always nice. Looking clean. So what you do is just touch everywhere and make sure it's working. And as you can clearly see, it is fully functioning. Not a problem. Okay, so the last part is, you can turn it off if you want, but you really don't need to. Stick this back on. And if you're missing some glue because you cut it off, which I was not, what you can do is put some T7000 on that to replace it. This guy's a popular guy. He's got a lot of dings. He's got all the ladies hitting him up.
I hope not.
Guys, well, I really appreciate you watching. Please like and subscribe. And more detailed videos are coming out in the future. And yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good one.